Welcome to Growing Younger Health and Fitness podcast designed for people over 40.
Hello guys, how you doing? It's Gavyn and Alex here, back with one of our podcasts.
Hey guys.
Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to quickly talk about like our mission, really, about what it is we want to achieve with Growing Younger, I guess. I'm going to talk about a little bit about you're being failed kind of elsewhere, right? No one really does what we do. I'm going to explain that a little bit. And then, obviously, if you got any comments or, obviously let us know, give us a little review if you like what we're talking about. And if you're on YouTube, then obviously you can see the slides that we've got going on here. So really, Alex and I sat down about a year ago, I guess, and kind of figured out like what the trajectory of what Growing Young is about, what we're going to do. From humble beginnings, I guess, from a program that was run out of my garage to what we've got now. And I guess we wanted a really big goal, okay? And really what it was to change the lives of 1 million people over 40, to equip them with the skills and tools to get healthier, enhance the quality of life, and compress morbidity. So lots of words in there, but really what compressed morbidity means is all about decreasing the time that you're sick to the end of your life. So we see lots of people from 40 onwards that are essentially getting sick and like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, all that stuff, right? Puts them at risk of stroke. It means they're medicated. It means they're not healthy and fit. They're struggling, okay? And all that stuff's chronic diseases that sit around for years on end. So they're sick. But then you also get the other side of the population that don't get sick at all until they're like the last 3 or 4 years of their lives. And then something will hit them like cancer and then they'll die, right? So what we want to do is try and be well for as long as we can and then keep that window of suffering to the end of your life, all right? Yeah. So then what we get then, like, we kind of realize that the over 40 crowd is like forgotten fitness cohort. And in New Zealand, you got about 1.6 million people over 40, and a lot of them are scared to go to gym. They're scared to try fitness programs and everything else, isn't it?
Look, I mean, I think that's one of the main reasons why we actually started doing what we're doing is because we just see it over and over again. People, either they just don't even dare to step into a normal gym because they are unfit, they're overweight, they are probably 50-something, 60-something. So they, even if they do go and have a look in your typical, I'm not going to call the names of the specific gyms, but you know what they are. And they go in and they see people who have six packs, they're in their 20s, they gym bunnies, they pose in front of the mirror. Now, for a lot of people who are actually unfit, this is very intimidating. They absolutely dread going into this kind of environment where they're going to be judged, essentially. So I think it's a pretty bad state of affairs at the moment in the fitness industry, where the whole industry is catering, is actually serving, providing for people in their 20s, which is cool. But what about people who are older? They're completely being overlooked.
Yeah, and I think as well, I mean, social media maybe doesn't help, where you see like beautiful bodies and six packs and everything else. And then when you get to over 40, you're probably not ever going to achieve that, but you can achieve health. And health is really hard, I guess, market, isn't it? It's like it's hard to market health. You said something a couple of years ago? It's hard to sell prevention, wasn't it?
Correct.
And like people generally, you exercise in to prevent dying young. But it's hard to sell that because people live in the now. They haven't got a good vision for moving forward. But when people come to us, they kind of come to the realization sometimes that they need to do something because they can see that. And that's the difference, right? So when you look at other kind of fitness franchises and solutions out there, you got things like Les Mills, F45, CrossFit. And if you look, do a Google search on these things. If you look at them, they're full of young people doing like, quite... I guess amazing things with barbells and massive levels of fitness. And if you're somebody who wants to get fit and healthy, but you got a bad knee or a bad back or a bad shoulder, the thought of doing that kind of exercise will put you right off. And you believe that is the only way for you to achieve your goals, isn't it? And Alex always says, like, being a physio and things, he gets a lot of people. Is it CrossFit, doesn't he? You said injured, yeah. Yeah. So, like, what would you say? A couple of injuries from CrossFit people have tried?
Like all sorts, but I mean, probably one sticks out the most would be shoulders. So, actually, interestingly enough, that you see that goers for lifting a bar above their head like this. So that's a very common of injuring your upper body, your shoulders particularly, or like even doing squats with the arms right with the bar behind your neck, that kind of thing. But all sorts, like backs. It's not because CrossFit is a bad way of exercising. It's not. It's just that they quite often they get you into like really advanced things that your body is just not ready for. You got to build up your way to it. If this is what you're trying to do one day, that's fine. But you got to start somewhere where you're comfortable right now, and then gradually, bit by bit, being guided, being coached, you're slowly, bit by bit, getting there. Okay, but to go from basically doing nothing to doing what you see on the pictures there is it's just crazy. And that's why people get hurt, they get discouraged, and essentially they don't get to where they want to be.
That's right. And like with us, I mean, obviously with our programming that we have, because there is an element of strength training, if somebody couldn't do a barbell squat, then they can stand up off a chair. It's still a squat. It's just a dumbed down version, but you've got to start somewhere, right? So that's really it. So when you go into these trying to CrossFit F45, people tend to get injured. They tend to get a bit scared and intimidated. And sometimes it's often so hard that they're left sore for over a week or so. And then, you never want to go back and do something that unpleasant. All right. So the next time you got there, and I guess talk about the real pandemic, and COVID and stuff has been around for a while now, but there's lots of other things out there that are really worse than that, I guess. And number one, like you got to put into perspective, there's 6.1 million searches are made about weight loss every single month. Massive. You've got 31% increase in obesity in New Zealand, and all of those people are like over 40, right? Obesity costs the taxpayer $624 million a year, okay, which is about $500 per adult. So we're all paying for this as well, okay, even if you're not unhealthy yourself. And the fitness industry is failing. Like doctors prescribe medication, that's what they do. And like even with us, we've had times where clients have come to us to get health and fitness, and the doctor said don't exercise, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
And it's because the doctors don't understand it enough themselves. They don't understand like what exercise is and what it does, and ultimately you're being failed from a massive level, I guess. And then when you look at it, lifestyle-related diseases kill 41 million people a year, which is about 74% of all deaths globally, right? Which is some pretty nasty figures there. And like I genuinely believe it's because the fitness industry doesn't help people as well as they should. They promote it to the wrong people, isn't it?
Well, realistically, people over 40 are the ones who actually need it the most. And yet, most gyms, they cater for the teenagers and 20-year-olds. So that, discrepancy between the actual need and what's being provided is quite striking.
I guess that's why we're here. We want to help a million people. It's a massive effort, but it gives us some focus. And if we can, improve the lives of those people, it's going to be fantastic. And then, like the last slide we got to show you today, really, is just like there's two pictures on there. One's of a heart surgeon and one's of like a doctor, right? And what you'll tend to see is that people will try to find generalists. So they'll find a general personal trainer, or they'll find a generalist dietitian. But with what we've created at Growing Younger is very much niche down to the point where we only deal with people over 40. We only deal with people with injuries who are overweight and got lifestyle-related diseases. And like by serving those people time and time again, we get to know a lot about them and how to deal with them best, whether it be through motivation or exercise or whatever else. So I'd ask you the question, like, would you go to a heart surgeon to fix your knee? You know what I mean? Or would you go to a knee surgeon to fix your heart? You wouldn't do it. So in this day and age with the online, online space, you're actually in a position to work with professional people who are experts in the field that you want to look into. And we've got the ability to do that. So I guess if it's, this is a bit of a shameless plug, but if you do need some help with your health and fitness and you are over 40, then there's a link in the description, isn't it, to book in a discovery call.
Yeah.
And the discovery call really is to speak to one of me or Alex, and just to understand a bit about your health and fitness goals. It's not like a crazy hard sell or anything. It's just to figure out if we can help you and, if you can move forward with it. And you may even learn something as well. And if we can give you a tip that you can take away and do on your own, fantastic. But also if you decide to work with us, that's fantastic as well.
Think of it as a coaching session, just like a short coaching session. If you decide not to go ahead with it, that's fine. Just at least you'll learn some things, and that might actually help you make a better, a positive change to your health.
Cool. So that's really our little podcast today. A fantastic day. And if you could do us a favor and give us podcast a bit of a rate or review, it does help get the message out to other people, or share it to somebody you think may find it beneficial. We're apart from that. Awesome. See you later.
Thank you next week.
Okay, guys, so I hope you found the podcast of value. If you did and you're struggling with your own health and fitness journey, there's a link in the description for a free discovery call with me. And that free discovery call, we're going to cover off a little bit about you, your history, your goals, what you want to achieve, and maybe we can help you or not with your own health and fitness goal. So if that does sound like something that you'd like to do, then click on the link in the description, and I look forward to chatting to you in the very near future. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.